doorways clear.
Let's roll, please. Ready? And fire.
Fire coming up.
And background
Speed.
action.
Action. Round the other side. Round the other side.
Come on! That room is on fire! Keep it going! Come on, man! Go in water there! Do it! Come on! Come on!
One left, Gavin. Go, go.
Come on!
Coming, Sean. Cross. Stand around. Be moving, guys. Fire. Move.
I need people! I'm bringing them.
I'm bringing both sides of the camera on the way to the house. Both sides.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Terry is an interesting director. He's one of the few directors that doesn't look at drawings. He just says, whatever you build, you know, I'll just shoot. I'll come in like a documentary crew. I'll shoot it. I mean, he doesn't really understand just shooting a bit of a set or a wall or one direction. And he changes his direction as the sun changes, always keeping everything backlit. So I needed to create an environment where he could move around and work in the style that he likes to work.
Okay, show me. Oh, yes.
The pipe out of the way. And you get stuff flying around in there.
Ready?
Yeah. Four.
You get completely inside the window.
Yes.
You don't want to use this monitor?
You check me, no? Here.
I got you.
Collapses, let me know.
So you want to roll?
Dude, the structure, if you can get any lower and up.
Okay, and
Oh yeah, and then pan up to the chimney.
roll it.
Speed.
In their writings, they said they put up this fort, which encompassed almost an acre of land, in 30 days. And to do that, they had to cut posts that were 12 to 15 feet high out of the ground. So they had to dig, 1,200 feet of trenches to put the posts in. And then they had to strip the posts of all their leaves, branches, and then put them upright. And it just had to be a superhuman task. We built the fort out of local materials so that the clay and the wattle and daub looked right. A lot of it because I wanted to see how it would work. There's no hinges on them.
How are they,
They got wooden pins carved at the top and the bottom. And we mortised out a little hole at the top and then dropped that down on it. And they actually work really well. And it's like they didn't need anything.
heavy? Great. 800 pounds each.
We're building everything real so that Terry has the freedom to shoot anywhere, inside a building, outside a building. If a building gets knocked down, it'll look real. You won't see 2x4s or 1x3s or anything.
I think it was tough for people at the beginning. I mean, I think their instinct is to want to go to exactly the way they know how to build things. And Jack didn't let up. And I think that was tough in the beginning for people, but I think as it went up, they all saw what it was you were actually getting.
Well, the first thing I'm looking at are the condition of the fields around the fort, where after trees are cleared, this is what you would have, of course, that kind of weeds coming up. I never really thought about the entire environment. That's one opportunity we got here. And then to look at the shape of the fort and the cannon in place, was two things that are missing at Jamestown are awesome. It's a good possibility. It makes sense.
The initial discussions I had with Jack Fisk was to give him a description of as much of what we have found of the real James Fort and its architectural pattern and the type of materials that may have been used to build the walls and also the buildings, the things that he would need to create a set.
Terry likes things real, and it was much more fun to build this real. And I think we've kept the archaeologists more interested because they've got to see buildings that they imagined, built three-dimensionally.
Ah, it smells good.
They got a little loft up here, and we've built most all the furniture.
so neat, to see it. I wish, yeah, I wish we could transplant it over. Because it's that's one of our very difficult thing about archaeology is that we know what we're seeing from these patches of dirt in the ground, the colored dirt, but it's really hard to explain to the visitor, what that represents. It's hard to imagine unless you have something like this that you can walk through.
What this captured is the essence of what it was like to be in Jamesport. In my own mind's eye, this captures that feeling completely. That it was crowded. There was a lot of activity going on, just as you're going on now. It's building, and even though it's modern construction, modern contractors, it would this is really what it would be like. We probably have 100 people in here. That's about about how many people actually were in the fort and building everything. So it's a time capsule.
It did take a big dive down there, didn't it?
What's the tip?
It'll be all right. I can pull it out.
My information is the Indians mostly came from the Jamestown narrative, and it was Thomas Spillman, I believe, that spent several years living with the Indians, and he wrote about his life there. And then some of it is from records of excavations that they've had in the area. They've been able to find holes in the ground that show the outline of the houses. It's different from what we saw recorded by John White in North Carolina, and we used that to fashion our main villages.
Unlike the white drawings, which are shown as flat-ended buildings, they actually are finding they were all round shape, which we have done, because they actually stand up better than the flat-ended ones.
We're stripping down these logs using these draw knives, taking the bark off them to make the uprights that will become Powhatan's house, as far as I know.
Basically, what we're having to do is this area up here. You can see where my hand is, where the poles attached to the top of the hut. This is basically now the ground. Whereas you can see how we put the poles in the ground on the other huts. Well, what we're in fact doing is building a hut now up on top of this structure.
Buck, this wall from here to here props up, and there's going to be covered areas up there to be like a courtyard
for your rotunda kind of.
Yeah. Be like, but then we can close it and it'll be dark, and Powhatan will be back in this area, like where the scaffolding is. The idea is that there'll be a door probably somewhere around here.
Oh, so you come through down here.
Yeah. The English, they talk about all the windings.
All the windings. Yeah.
You have to go all the way around.
Just trying to get an idea of how your windings go.
You come around there, and you come in, and he's way at the other end.
We were extremely lucky in that we chose to build things as closely to the way that they think they were built. As best we can tell. Doing it this way and using all natural things that we had, we not only kept the costs down, but I also think that we got to the desired result much quicker than had we gone a traditional route. We had tried to build these things like scenery and then disguise them.
Did that one not get tied up?
No, they're all.
So I need a bunch
They're
of them
all in.
tighter.
You need to stake over here.
Wait a minute. Let me just bunch them in tighter. I hate to do that, but
it'll be fine.
We spent some time researching and finding seeds for Indian corn, because corn now is hybrid, and Indian tobacco and other melons and things that they would grow. And we were able to obtain some of those seeds and plant our fields. We planted about a 3-acre field for the main garden at Werowocomoco.
we're weeding as much as possible, but trying to do it thinking that it would be like the Indians would do it. You would do the bare minimum to as much as you could to have your crop come up without, these guys it was pre-iron tools at this point. So they're out here with, I don't know what they use, sticks, bone scrapers. So you're not going to get everything out of here.
We invited the chiefs and assistant chiefs and representatives of all the native tribes in Virginia to come and see what we were doing and participate as much as they liked. And we had wonderful, wonderful participation from several of them.
In April of 2004, late April, mid-April to early May, I became aware that there would be a film production company in Virginia, and they would be filming a production-length movie called The New World. My initial reaction to the term New World was one of, hey, what's new about it? We've been here 15,000 years. And it really rubbed me wrong that the title for this movie would be New World. So it started out on the wrong foot. I did, in fact, talk with Terry Malick, and he said, I think you'll be pleased with the twist that we put on the title, New World.
As the story has developed from something out of history and something that's been told over and over again and told incorrectly in some people's eyes, the most important thing that came out of this is how important it is to bring the body language of Indian people into this, to speak a language of memory and of just remembering that we can tell the story our own way through our bodies. And so in these next 2 weeks, which is really not a long time, we've got to be able to get you guys all to become 17th century human beings. I want you to really take big steps out. So see how my knee is straight up above my heel? That's ideal. And then that transfer happens, right? Yeah? And your foot's aiming forward. All the weight is all in the hamstrings and your butt. So just make a sort of, just go around this net. Just that far. You're gonna feel it, trust me. Whose fine cone is it?
We created a core group of warriors for the movie that we culled from all over the country. People who had a physicality and a spirit and a look that we felt would work together. And they became a tribe. These are people from different tribes all over the country in Canada and wherever, and they became a tribe of their own for this movie, and it was a very profound thing to watch.
What Terry wants to see more than anything else is that as we see everybody in the canoes, walking through the woods, whatever else, what separates you guys from the English is that you people are in complete harmony with the earth and the universe and everything that exists.
I've been working with the guys to get to the core of their instinctive knowledge about bringing in, a totemic animal into the way they move, into the sounds that they make.
Go for it. Just, yeah. Can everybody try that one?
Love
Try
that
one.
one.
Kiss your hand. Nice one, eh?
We're going to work on these ones today.
Right.
And try to get them in that whole attitude of prayer that he wants. When he's
Yeah.
always just going to zero in on people.
I just kind of wanted to, from what he said a lot, is also to lose that kind of 20th century posture.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
That
exactly.
kind of look,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that kind of mod, but not to get it to the point where it's the noble savage kind
No,
of.
I know.
But
like today,
but just kind of a very in tune with the
Sure.
body, and just kind of has that presence of like,
Yeah.
we're ready, we know ourselves.
We had to do intensive series of exercises. Number one, just for cardio and muscle building, because the way people looked when they were living off the land has a very different physical stance.
Come on, conscious, give it up, man. You're not trying to pick up Miss America here. Come on. Pick up the tempo. Give us use the tempo up.
At first he was having us do all these crazy things like take a tennis ball, go through our legs, walk toe to heel, and you don't really know how effective that's going to be till you actually come out here and you're actually in the woods walking like that and you see all that balance where it all comes into play. And just him warming us up spiritually and everything, getting in tune with everyone that was here in this land 400 years ago.
Some of the activities that you guys might be taking place in may be background things that we need to have happening, but still at the same time we want to have that care in what your presentation is. We want to have that care in your presence and what you guys are bringing to the set and what you guys are bringing to almost like our persona, because we are going back 400 and some odd years.
We're going to put Artie in the back of the boat first, put you in the front, and we're going to perfect just a few strokes. We're not going to do tonnage of strokes. These guys have learned 3, 4 strokes. When you're pulling in, you slice back out with it.
Maybe I don't want to make it this way.
Exactly, you got it.
And
That's the draw stroke. That makes you go that direction.
so not like in a single canoe where you go that way and you don't do that shit.
Not well. He does it in the back, but you don't do it in the front. The thing you do in the front is either the draw to make it go that way, or to go the opposite way. It's called a pry, and you're going to use the edge of the boat. You do like that.
Okay.
Because see, once we get into these picture boats,
That's a motherfucker, that one.
it is an incredibly difficult thing to do.
Shit, man, he's got an inch to play with that.
This extras training camp was a major push because it was so crucial to the film. Terry, obviously, and all of us wanted everybody to look the part, look like they had been doing this for years, look like it was 1607, you know, and not 2004.
No, I was in one of the fucking wide things, man. It was like a kayak, huge. We were even doing this, you couldn't go over them. But I'll be in the dugout, I think, tomorrow, and that's the end of me.
Oh, you put sets in there.
I'm gonna plug my fucking knob just in case anything flies into it, because that water looks like it's fucking manky. Don't fancy having a urethra fucking near me the first week shooting.
It's going to be particularly difficult out here because it's going to be hot, it's going to be nasty, you're going to be covered with mud. It's not going to be pleasant. The working conditions are not going to be pleasant. You're going to be working real hard. And the temperature's going to be way up there. Open your pan, crossed here. Don't rest it on your hip. That aims it into your face. Okay? Grip it right about here with this hand. Now you'll see you can balance it right there. Open the pan, fill the pan half full. When the pan is half full, you will close the pan. You'll bring the musket up to your face and blow the excess powder off the top of the pan cover. Slowly squeeze the trigger. Don't jerk it back. You will not squeeze the trigger until I tell you to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said squeeze the trigger.
I'm used to it.
Sorry.
Once we selected our core colonists, then we brought them in for the training camp as well, and they learned, you know, musketry, and they learned how to fire, they learned swordsmanship.
Unfortunately, accidents happen, as they often do.
Here, do you want to stick these under cover so that
But
we should these guys
I think they got the people to have a really good, production.
So this time, I want you to connect this. The frog. Let's like this. Frog. Okay? So stay low, frog, from right there.
Yeah, nice.
Now do a frog, back bend, back to a frog. So it's gonna here.
One of the great challenges of this movie was finding an actress to play Pocahontas. We looked all over the world for her. It was about an 8-month search. And in the last month, Renee happened to be casting for another project, which was calling for a very different sort of character. And Koryanka Kilcher, who had been in Los Angeles all this time, was submitted for that movie. We happened to be doing a camera test, and so we said, oh, come stand in front of this 35mm camera with no makeup and just yourself and see what happens. And I tell you, when we screened that footage, she just jumped off the screen at us. She has something really extraordinary. It's powerful, and it's beautiful, and it's Pocahontas. It's who we saw as this character who would mesmerize John Smith and be strong enough to sway him from one course and lead him into another for periods of time.
You have a journey from very beginning to, your death. It's just, and it's not even the loss of innocence, because see, already that's a very negative term. We don't lose innocence. You wouldn't have any concept of what losing innocence is. Life is a journey, and like your last little speech to John up at the end, right? Mm-hmm. It's a time, and it's passing, and now it's death. It's just next time. So you have to embody just every bit of that philosophy in every single thing you do. But from the beginning to the end of the film, that is your physical journey. With Koryanka, we're trying to find a way to segue her into the world of English speaking. So from that, starting from a place of gesture and body language and her own native language of Algonquin, she has to find a way to move into it slowly, so it will be through the body first.
As she was starting to learn the words in the Powhatan language, we started to find gestures that would speak of those things. And sometimes they're very specific, very sort of like pictograph. They tell a real specific story, and sometimes it's just the way we talk with our hands to get her to feel comfortable expressing with her hands, and in a way that we believe is more appropriate to that time period. Bocateo, bocateo, bocateo. Bocateo. Okay, now we're cold. We want to make a fire. Bocateo. Nepi. Nepi. Now show me how big that water is, that big ocean. Show me your eyes going all the way up. Elbows are still soft. Okay, can you do it with your knees bent so you can see it all over the place? Nepi. Nepi. All right, so now from just standing to nepi, bending your knees. Nepi. Okay.
It's completely unusual that just a language that ceased to be spoken is going to be revived for the purposes of the film in order to bring the authenticity of having the people speak the language that was really being spoken here.
Adequate.
Sky.
Sky.
A little bit more of the...
Sky.
Yeah, that's right. Sky.
Sky.
Yeah, so that sounds more like a G. That's good. Lovely.
Gisos.
And the same with the K on that.
Gisos.
Yeah. Gisos.
Gisos.
Sun.
Sun. Bocateo.
Fire.
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 Yeah. Good.
The film is making a great deal of effort to be as authentic as possible in terms of representing the native people of historic Virginia. It's not generic Indian. It's actually going to be Virginia Algonquin, as Virginia Algonquins were back then.
We did a certain amount of research into the look of the Algonquin particularly, really to arrive at an identification of this particular tribe, plus giving them each individual braves their own individual look.
Think about as many people as you guys can handle per day that we could see at 1:30 when we have that show and tell for Terry. Whether it's really 3 is your max or whether you can do more, because I want to take this week to figure out what all the options are. Like what's the best texture of mud? All the different ways you can do the mud. What's the best texture of ash? Is it better on bare skin or is it better on, paint? Like, well, the ash, what if you sprinkle ash over a fresh paint? Yeah. All those kinds of things. I know Terry's really, really interested in seeing texture and layers.
We have things that we can get that do the same thing, that look the same, just once you start smearing it all over it.
Right.
But ash will have a kind of a thick and dark, thick and light areas. It'll move around.
Which I think
rather
is
like
good
chalk.
as long as our base coat's strong enough. That's the key.
Yeah, because the actual materials themselves aren't necessarily the best things to use. Like for instance, the mud that we just put regular mud on the guy, it needs a bonder, something that'll have longevity and it'll stay. It's chalky. This is kind of chalky. Yeah. This kind of freshens it up to where it just looks fresh. Like a stain. And it's got a little bit of a glisten, and it doesn't look quite as chalky.
We had a lot of experimentation to do because it was worth just figuring out even the most ridiculous patterns we'd try out. We'd try out any kind of texturing. We looked in all the possibilities of the various earths around at the time.
I think this is exactly the right color. It's just a little red. I think that's good. But Terry and the thick, thickness of it. I think. Well, the question is, what about his face? How to bring it up to that color? Because that is a different red here. Maybe it's just this.
That's what you did, right? Or is that? Did you put red on your face as well? This new red?
No, I didn't.
No, okay. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay.
We're almost there.
We'll wash you off and start again with a different color red.
Even if even if it's just a kind of a rub off the texture stuff.
Okay.
And go with it again. But I think I think we're there in this guy.
No, this is gonna be shaved.
Oh, it's not gonna be like an extension coming down?
All this is gonna have you're gonna have more hair here. But we love all your wild stuff. Love all the wild.
The Powhatan Indians of that day shaved one half their head right down the middle and would take off the whole side of it. Besides being a style that, became just part of their tribal look, it had a very practical application. So I, being right-handed, would shave the right-hand side of my head so that when I shot my bow and arrow, it wouldn't ever interfere with my long hair.
I had a hair issue, and I didn't want to cut my hair because from my tribe and our beliefs, we only cut our hair when someone close to us dies. And I kind of had to do some soul searching about it, but I had to realize who I was representing here, and it does the Algonquin people and the Pamunkis, it does them justice, for me to have cut my hair this way, and it's kind of like a tribute to them, 500 years later, 400 years later.
Okay, step forward again.
We're doing the reverse of your close-up.
Right.
So if you stand up right there, the sheep will be coming towards you, and Jimmy will perform an acrobatic move to save the shot.
At first I had to really come up with a look for these Indians, which I did base loosely on the white drawings, which I think were so classical in their rendering that I felt, though these Indians were quite refined and had wonderful, techniques that they'd honed over the centuries, that they wouldn't be as rigid. They'd be much more organic and more natural. Mainly what we did is tried to use the skin in the most natural way possible without using a lot of fringe, because I knew that we were going to be a bit fringe phobic. And so we tried to use the holes for her.
Yeah, that's great.
In a nice way. This is like feathers, her pearls. Then do breechcloths for her, where we actually sewed some shells and things into the holes. Yep. We used 30,000 Marginella shells on Powhatan's cape and did it just the way they would have done it then. We tried to be respectful of not only their process, but their respect for animals and nature, and that all of their costumes were tributes to animals.
I was very honored in June to be invited to a meeting with the production staff and other chiefs in Virginia to meet with the production staff to simply review what the movie was going to be about and how it was going to be presented. And during our discussions, they expressed some concern to me that they were having difficulty finding wild turkey feathers and deer antlers for the purposes of costume construction. Fortunately for me, I have a lot of friends that are very good hunters, and at that time I had about 12 boxes of wild turkey feathers and 60 to 70 sets of antlers in my shed. Jackie so impressed me with the research and the honesty that she was attempting to portray our people that I offered to give them to her so that the costumes could be as authentic as possible to ensure that our people would be accurately represented.
Now, Smith had fought in the wars in Turkey and stuff, so one of the researches is, that he used the falchion a lot, which is the thicker. And Terry had talked about possibly, instead of you carrying this the whole time, of coming out at the battle, when the Indians are in the field, that you just, you're going to war, and this is the weapon you have. This is just a prototype. The finished one's not done yet. Is a portalone, which is going to be your own little notebook where you store your papers in here in the folded section over here, and then this will be sketches as well. Yeah, this is a little pencil here that's actually just graphite, and that's how they did it. They would wrap them in string like that.
We're just on the cusp of the Industrial Revolution here, so things were very much all furniture and that were individually made and handmade, with certain tools, but I mean, we were not yet into industrial age.
It's just a shoe for a wooden shovel, a metal shoe for a wooden shovel, and I'm going to put some copper rivets to hold it on. It's got a sharp edge. They mainly just shovel in sand, but when it wears out, they can just replace the metal. They found bits of this in the well at Jamestown. Not bits, but the whole shoe.
Can we actually cover this with a piece of leather. You know,
Yeah.
all the way over.
Yeah, now,
full.
see, it's good because I can stitch to either side of it now that I have this to go to.
Okay.
You know?
And I was also thinking that maybe a solid band over there.
I can do that too, because
And
now
then
I can
these
come
just
along.
poke through the band. See.
Okay.
The items for the native cultures and that, we literally made each one. All the bows are made, all the quivers are made, all the arrows are all handmade. There's nothing in the native culture that we can really, buy off the shelf.
Started out just with a piece of split bone, split it down the middle. They just break it and make it split, and then sharpen the edges, make a knife out of it. Be a tool. I'll just show you right over here. From this to that. Obviously it works. If it'll stick through that piece of cardboard, it'll darn sure stick through you.
So much was lost of that culture. You have to kind of fill in a lot of blanks. But then the blanks are not that big, actually, because you have the elements. What did they have? They had leather, they had feathers, they had stone, and they had wood, And so you work with those materials, and they demand their own realization.
One of the biggest draws to Virginia was having these 3 replica ships literally 5 miles from our major set location. They were the 3 ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery. And they're part of a museum called the Jamestown Settlement, which is run by the Jamestown-Yorktown Foundation.
The ships are all anchored at Jamestown, or tied up at the pier at Jamestown for all the visitors and tourists kind of things.
We're all volunteers. All of us come in, some people from far away. Doug comes all the way from North Carolina, and other folks even further to volunteer on these ships, really to help maintain them. This is the glamorous part, believe it or not. In the wintertime, there's painting, scraping, a lot of cleaning up. So it's not all movies.
I really don't want much contrast. So if it's in, like, if you squint or do a black and white picture, I like them to look.
So
I look like one color.
This rope to disappear.
I want this line to disappear, so you don't really. So this is the same value as this, but just a different color.
Okay. So it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
The ships, as they sit in Jamestown, are very brightly colored. There's a lot of white on them, and they didn't look used. So we put some effort into aging them down and making them look more to what I thought ships of the period would look like.
I have to ask you a big favor to check, be responsible in your own boat, to be sure that there's nothing like a water bottle because I have a crane and we might go up and down and start shooting. It's very hard to see in the monitor. Okay. The image is this small, so I cannot see water bottles and things like that, and then they appear on base.
The scene today is the first arrival. We'll be taking some of the colonists from the Godspeed, rowing ashore, and I believe Newport is going to have the first words to announce our new arrival in the New World. So it should be a good day. Looking forward to it.
As soon as I feel you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And it's better if I come down on that thing. Yeah.
The first day we did an enormous amount of work. We were literally just thrown in. It's a pretty quick-moving vehicle, largely, this shoot. Which isn't what I expected.
11 Charlie, take 1. Be marked.
Stand by. And background. Action.
Okay, go now. Yeah. Come on, Harry. Get to move it. Move it. Go now. Mate, come on. We're having for one, Billy.
Derek, 5 feet.
Get down to left.
in.
Shooting all the ships together and the support that we needed, the support boats needed to shoot the vessels, proved to be one of the biggest challenges on the movie.
Can you get one or two shots off safely?
Yeah.
Great.
Just go in front of the camera. I can get this out. Do me a favor, go in front of the camera and stay there as the boats go. Just
Pete,
react to it.
need to come in more.
Hold on, guys. We got waves coming. This is good.
Waves coming.
This is good. Hold the shot. Guys, disappear. Go backwards.
Going clear the frame. Clear out of the shot.
Closer to the camera.
Come back this way, guys.
Close to the camera.
Stay here.
Come in front. Cut. Let's cut. Go closer to camera.
Yeah.
We had the boat sailing on the James River, we had it sailing on the Chickahominy River, and sailing and rowing on eight of the creeks off of the James and Chickahominy.
Naturally, this gets everybody right in the mood, because along the way we're handling sail and working in conditions that would have been faced by the very same people that arrived on these vessels in 1607, right here in Jamestown. That makes, for us, it gives us a real-life experience of what these original settlers would have experienced.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Could you hide behind this as much as you can behind this tree?
Yes.
And maybe get very low?
Yes.
No, hide this way. You don't want the English to see you.
Oh, this way. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go closer to them. Get closer. Yeah, somewhere in there. And now get small. Forget about these things. Yeah, like that. That's very cool. Okay. Zimmerman, pass me the camera.
Getting 3 ships in a narrow river positioned properly and get all the support ships out of the way really proved to be a challenge.
Can they move that boat away?
I will check. They're positioning for the shot up top.
Yeah, why is that little boat has to be there? The tiny fucking boat.
Okay.
If it's not working, they should be out, because second unit can be shooting here a masterpiece, but you're not allowing us.
we're already shooting. I will work on it.
Can we roll? Get the boat out of position.
11 and a half.
You guys come in sooner. Roll.
Okay.
And camera.
Go, guys. That's beautiful. That's it. I love that.
Disappear, guys. Okay, let's do one with less chaotic. A little more nicer moves. A ballet. Jimmy, let's go again through this.
I thought that had moments of ecstasy.
Yeah, but less ecstasy, more exquisite. Go through these trees, don't pan that way.
Okay, fine.
Okay, roll it.
Rolling.
Rolling now.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And action.
Closer to the camera, somebody, guys.
Somebody come in.
Disappear. Let's do it again. This is the moment.
Back up.
Okay. Z-axis, Jimmy. Don't do the German thing. Let's go. Yes. And roll it.
Boy, now you're good.
Yeah. Roll it.
Yes.
Action.
Like that?
Nobody's safe. No, we're too. Down.
Cross the tree.
Disappear.
There, guys.
That was the best. Okay, let's do one more. You have to be lower. That's the trick.
The conditions here in Virginia have been some of the toughest I've worked on. It was tough to keep the equipment dry, free from humidity, the lenses from fogging up, the cameras running.
Guys on the Godspeed, there you are. Thank you. You'll be moving around during the shot.
rain would come and hit us in an instant. The environment, the conditions, the heat, humidity, and moisture were all a real challenge for us in the Cameron Park.
You are going to help us. Oh, Bob. We're going to go do that and then we'll go for the swim as well. We're going to go the same and go for the swim. Oh, fucking good. Get in the water, man.
I'd spread the tent out so you got the right size, get underneath it with the poles, lift it up, and then start pulling out the sides while somebody holds the poles up.
I think we got the most rainfall in our 6-month period in Virginia history. I mean, it was astonishing the amount of rain that we got.
We had one guy on the crew got real sick, and they think it might have been a spider.
Really? Can I tell you something? It's the, what's the name of the ones that...
Black Widow?
No. The ones that have the big brown belly.
There's a brown recluse.
They don't have brown recluse in Virginia.
They don't?
No, yeah, they do.
They say they do, but they don't.
We just saw one.
Well, it's visiting from somewhere else.
It came in the camera case.
You turn back and then you swing, you're ducking, remember, and then you hit his hand. You hit his hand and then remember you run away. So now you do this.
We're gonna do all that right here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait for. Yeah, and then we cut. We cut.
Okay, I'll start from right here. So it'd probably be a good idea if he stops here, because there's a platform.
Stop right here. This is the smart. He will be right here.
Stop.
Just
float it off.
Yeah. We're working on the John Smith who come in to try to go to find Indian the camp, the village for Indian, and this is the second fight scene, and he got captured by the Indian.
Have like 9 inches on this side.
You can lift the deck, I'll pull.
We build up the platform under the water because the water, at the daytime maybe on your knee, maybe nighttime is already over your head. So we need to build 2 platforms to try to fit the water level. Being in the walkway right now, you see, the ladder over there. Is the, we're trying to make, the level up, the water and the soil, so that people can really run over and then we really can fight on top of the water, but look like we're on top the, the whole bar.
Yeah. Like...
The smell in this area is pronounced.
No, it's nothing like where I was earlier today over there.
The scenes I've been caught in the first time fight with the Indian, so very interesting. And they come out just like ghosts, they running fast, they jump out from the tree.
Basically, it's a real dark, eerie atmosphere that we get to come out of and portray, warriors, attacking John Smith.
I think just from watching, everybody's really learning fast and putting everything they can into it, 110%, and that's what it takes. As far as the warriors, the Algonquin, Powhatan warriors, that's how we want people to see, when they watch this film, that man, these guys, they went all out, they brought it, to this movie. They just came with everything that they had. Rolling.
3600, take 40 mark.
Speeding there? C mark.
And action!
Stand by.
Ready? And roll, please. Rolling.
Loud.
Exactly. Take 1 A mark.
C mark.
Jerry, you strong on action.
And go ahead, Shelley.
And action.
At the time of the English arrival, most of our people were farmers and fishermen because we did live on the river and we did farm the land. John Smith, when he arrived in 1608, said we had 1,000 acres of corn growing on the land adjacent to the Potomac.
I'm going to pull back to her face after I do the...
11, Harry.
Okay.
11.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Some
speed. Speed.
And anytime. Action. Bring it down. Down, down, down. There. And open it up. Towards camera. Feature it towards camera a little.
A little bit more movement, Carolina, right where you are.
That's it.
Other hand as well.
I think what was I doing when I was 14, man?
Great.
But, you know, guys, mates would stay over. Barry Maguire, I remember, would stay over. I was playing a lot of football. I mean, it was pretty much the staple of my diet. And here at 14, Corianka Kilcher has to come on and play, and is fortunate to, and is happy that she is. But she has to every day perform as Pocahontas.
Go further out.
She's doing incredible. She's amazing. She's such an insane mix of lightness and darkness of spirit. But she has a smile that could light up both hemispheres at the same time, and she has just a depth of darkness which would make the world stand still, stop moving.
I took this opportunity to come and join this film, to represent my people. A long time ago, our ancestors and elders once roamed this part of the country, and a lot of the things that you see here is how my ancestors once lived also.
You can take one of these paddles and work on shaping it. You have your hand on the inside, bracing against the inside of the pot. On the outside, you're using a paddle. This gives us not only texture, but also compresses the clay. And just like having like a credit card or a driver's license on a wet table in the summer, that it makes that stick. The fiber on this keeps this from sticking to the pot. Working within the village itself was very exciting. I think a lot of the native people enjoyed being in an environment that involved all these huge oaks, as well as these long houses that were, you know, draped in mats and so forth, and especially within the Great Longhouse, Powhatan's location.
The interesting thing about this scene coming up is it is recorded from John Smith's memoirs, and it's very, very, very specific. You know, stones being brought in, head laid down, clubs being lowered as if to crush him, and, you know, absolute fear, and the idea that he landed himself in hell. But it's a well-known, documented tradition of a medicine ceremony. Mulan will do a whole water ceremony on him, an earth symbol on his head, and then blow fire and use air just to do a thing. And then at that point, the animal dances. You guys would have got in place, and the dances, the animal thing happens. What Terry and I talked about early on in, you know, the beginning of our collaboration is that he would bring the European white man perspective of this history from their retelling, but we will simultaneously be telling a story reenacted through these ceremonies, through these dances, but from an Indian worldview.
There's something about this story that just reading it and thinking about it, the meat of it, the emotion of it, the passion of it, the pain of it, and the history of it is very much about the Native Americans. And to do today, which is a scene that I've been captured by a few of them and taken into their Wero Makomako. Yeah, man. HQ, in other words, Indian HQ. And you know, they're all, you can hear the greeting they're giving me there. That's my point of view. That's why I'm here talking to you, because that's my point of view. And it was fairly mad. They all did this, they've been rehearsing for weeks. Raoul and his boys, the core lads, have been rehearsing for weeks, doing these dances where they inhabit different characters, different animals, wolves, snakes. Raoul, I think, was doing a chicken, and fuck me, man, they were in it. They were so in it.
It was fun. It's like having this snake and you know, going into, you know, animal style. You know, I got to get wild, you know, have the actual snake skin on me. You know, get to get wild, you know, and kind of slither through, you know. And it was good. And it's tiring, but it was good. This right here, this is called Tiro Hajo. My great-great-grandfather's name was Crazy Snake, so I wear this in honor of him, Semino Mado.
I have high hopes that this movie will be representative of a way of life that my forebears knew and enjoyed. I hope it will kind of telegraph to the world the kind of injustices that my people face. I hope it'll further let the world know that we still exist today and that we are married to our culture and to our heritage, and that we will continue to the end of time to let the world know who we are.
Realizing who you are and where you come from and where your people come from takes a big step, but even being thrown into a situation where you are dressed in a similar fashion and you're walking around a village that looks the same, you just can't help but getting thrown back and just realizing what a great life it was. And the guys that I was with, the core guys, just the way that they interacted, the songs that they sang, just really felt like there was a part of my life missing. You know, when they were singing and I didn't know the words. And it just made me really, really, really want to be a part of that even more.
We have to face it that the ones like Jason are the future of our people. And most of our history is oral, and it's passed from generation to generation by stories and tales. And Jason had a unique experience in that he actually got to be his ancestor and actually got to live his tradition, so that it's going to be more than just an oral tradition. He knows what his people looked like. He knows what his people wore. He knows how his people acted. And I think he will be able to pass this on to his children. So in that sense, the movie was an epiphany for him. It was truly rewarding. And I'm hopeful that he will continue on now with his professed interest in learning more and more about the Potomacs and the Powhatan people in general.
There you go, Russell. I told him to go.
Cut. Throw it in the river. Reset. Good guys. Good job, guys. Good. Reset.
Yeah, I can see that now.
There's a certain simpatico with what we're trying to shoot and capture in the film, and the fact that everyone from the cast and crew, above, below the line, all over the fucking place, is on the set for 12 hours a day, bar 30 minutes at lunch. And everyone's tired, everyone's fatigued.
All these folks were sick and dying. They didn't really know why. They thought it was a disease. It was a mixture of water and, intestinal virus. So they were pretty dehydrated, feverish, and they died. Thanks to the natives and thanks to Pocahontas, a few survived.
So we have a lad stuck in the fucking well.
Let them see it, man. Let them see it, man. Let them see it, man.
Yeah, medics. The water's going to be a bit rotten for the first few weeks.
Get your leg off. He's a toughie.
Good night, Chef.
Get there.
Oh my God. Come on, Steve-o.
When the crew gets out of the way and you see just the cast who looked into the fort here, you kind of have to pinch yourself and you go, wow, this is what it actually looked like. And these are the conditions these people came. What a ludicrous idea it was to come over here. Or what sort of, what did you expect that this, in 400 years, America is now what it is? That whole notion of discovery and taking risks to go into really the unknown. There aren't many places left where men go into the unknown. I mean, for themselves.
You realize how these people really suffered and what they really went through. And as we get really lucky, we get to be the ones to tell their story. So it feels like you're not just doing a movie, you're doing part of history. We get to see things, do things that probably only they did.
I guess, like he was saying, it's just being able to see it almost through their eyes. In fact, there's been a few times it's almost been scary. We're sitting around, it's like a lot of us just met, and we basically stayed together now. And it's like we've known each other in a prior lifetime almost. It's, if there's reincarnation, hey, we might be some of them.
Can you food this?
Yeah, I must still be alive.
Really? Oh, the blood. Make him pee in his trousers. Because he's scared when
Make him pee in his trousers.
Yeah, but all wet around his trousers because he's scared to kill himself. Then he killed himself.
Listen, Joe, your dialect sessions weren't that bad.
But it was that one word I couldn't get. Dead.
You didn't have to do
Couldn't
that.
say dead. Is it too late?
We're all strangers at first, and now we're all a tight crew. We've all blended together, you know. And it's great camaraderie, you know. You come into work, you look forward to it.
All right, guys, so here's our shot. I see. Camera handheld under the church, looking out towards the river. We'll have Noah and some colonists background. Everybody in the church, if you're in the church standing around, fall back to the back side of the church. Just give us some room up front here, please. Move yourselves back. Thank you.
The great thing about filming on location is you're on location. When it rains, it's raining. And we'd film in the rain. We'd film in blustery conditions, you know, conditions that weren't great for sound. We'd film in half light, you know, overcast days, bright sun. And all that really just allows you to experience something. It adds an element.
They're thieves and murderers. The good earth of hostility of the many wars. They don't have their own way on the field of British battle. Cruelly don't they fall down. They're wolves and they should be dealt with as such.
It's vital to recreate as similar conditions as you can. Otherwise, it is about artifice and makeup and you know, lighting effects and things like that. I mean, I love the fact that Terry doesn't use lights. You know, the mere fact that there aren't sort of cables and lights all around the place creates a very solid reality that affects all the people working.
The challenge of the fort was that the fort had to be built in many different phases because it, you know, when they first land, it needs to look like there's nothing, and then obviously we need to build it up, build it up, build it up.
We're changing the fort over right now from between the battle scene and the starving time up to the more prosperous rebuilding when Newport comes back. So we've added 2 new houses and some extra structures, and we've updated some, like the church. Mostly it's just to show a progression of time and also colonist ability and kind of the wealth that's coming slowly, but bit by bit try to make it show a passage of time.
This is the brown mud that we use for the wattle and daub, like you see on all the buildings. And during the fire, this is kind of what it looked like. But then with the heat of the fire, it turned it bright red. It looks like brick. We sent some of this to Jamestown, the APVA, because they found pieces similar to this in their excavations, and they wanted to see how this compared to what they had.
The way Terry likes to shoot and the spontaneity with which he likes to aim and frame the camera sort of excludes any opportunity to artificially light a scene. It was more about keeping the lighting equipment out of the shot than to actually use it to light the shot.
Jack, can I say something? Just that. You see, right there.
It took a while for Chivo to accept and to sort of change the way he looks at a scene. It was a process that both he and I had to get used to, because he and I have done some very large lighting setups on various movies throughout the years. So where our solution to a lighting challenge would be to add light. In this movie, it would be to find a direction where the light could be, the natural light could be used to light the scene instead.
You just
This
see
church is
movement
unlittable.
peripherally and you go, I thought it was coming down on me.
I think the
That's
church
the first time it's
is
ever
a
happened.
challenge.
I don't ever remember seeing the ring move.
It'll probably be your finest work.
Ever.
They'll say, how did he do that?
Okay, Lisa, start the smokers up again, please.
Okay.
Lisa, start the smokers.
Okay.
It was amazing for me to really see the changes and go through the changes from just being in the forest, the carefree life, just listening to birds, swimming in the river, just really, really happy, and being really confused and having all these things happening around me, and then going through all these different ups and downs, and then finally on the end becoming at peace with everything after I've gone through all these things, and I live a totally different life and have a son and a husband.
She's looking camera left. Camera left.
By the time Rolf came back, the fort only had 5 homes in it, and the rest of us planted tobacco. And they started taking land from the Indians, planted land from the Indians, and burning their crops and putting in tobacco and burning their houses. And it's because of tobacco that the Indians were really moved out of Virginia.
We wanted a different look for the John Rolfe house, since that was meant to show that the colony had moved outside the fort. So we moved to a beautiful location called the Berkeley Plantation and built this house complete as a house. Full-on 360-degree set, built it in 3 weeks.
It was hard to build here at first because it was so muddy, and then it dried up. And as soon as we finished, the rain came. This is a sloppy mess outside. This is the wettest year on record for Virginia.
And we're here.
And we're here, but it's great because otherwise it's been just dry and awful, dusty. And we've had very little dust, and we've had the grass to stay green longer. And the mud is so real, it's become like an element in the film.
Our locations, for obvious reasons, were in remote areas along the river, and so to respect the integrity of the sets themselves, you know, the trucks weren't really nearby. So it was a matter of muling or vanning the equipment in.
We want a place to get them away.
I just don't want them in here. Well, we don't have to hide them. I mean, it's just somewhere up there.
There's a place.
Where they can stand.
There's a path we can walk down the path, and it's a place where we're going to shoot later. But it's a little crop circle that they can hang out at, and it's far away from the games.
Okay, so I guess we're going to go that
I'll
away.
show you one.
Yeah, we can't cut across this here, so we have to go up and try to avoid planks now. They're not going to walk on those planks, eh, Bubba? Will they walk on the planks?
No.
No. So we're just going to go up, cut where the planks are, and somewhere there.
gotta go through the corn.
They'll get,
Yeah,
they'll get their foot hung between them, and then one of them will move.
So, so we'll just start walking this away, yeah?
Well, then we'll have to go through the corn. I'm going to go scout.
Okay.
This is Christopher Plum.
Hello.
Hang on. Okay, here we go.
Lucas?
Oh, can we help Ruby with the baby the other way around?
Let's flip the baby.
Yeah,
Pretend
you
so
flip
on your left shoulder.
Okay, here we go.
Melissa, you can come right on in here to watch behind camera.
We'll leave the passing in for a second.
Yeah, till we're ready to go.
Okay, here we go.
Let's get it really, really quiet.
I think we got that very beautiful shot of the baby here. Is she okay? Or is she?
Oh no, she's good.
She's fine.
Want to go higher?
His vision seems to be a very romantic one of the early beginnings of America and the discovery of the land. To him, it's a dream, and I think that's a wonderful way of presenting it. It's one man's vision of it, and he sees it, I think he sees it as a dream.
Catherine's here, and Janine is anxiously waiting to jump back here.
On my very first day, I was actually, doing a scene, and then my understanding was that they were shooting the other actor doing a close-up, and I wasn't needed for it. And so I just went. I stayed on the set, but I was just sitting on the side, and I was smoking the pipe that John Rolfe smokes, and then I suddenly realized that the camera was pointed at me.
I'm always terrified that when he's got that camera on his shoulders, he's going to follow me into the toilet. I mean, he never stops. It's like some sort of great bird of prey on his shoulders that's driving him on. It's saying, no, don't ever put me down. You've got to get everything.
I don't know how the editors are going to watch all this material.
They're coming this week.
The editors? For what?
They tell you to stop shooting too much.
How much film are they shooting?
1 million feet or something, I believe.
So is this...
It's a lot of film.
Go Red Sox.
And it's, I mean, yeah, it is unusual, I guess. We've been on a few films. You have been on a film that's had as much film.
Yeah,
right?
JFK.
JFK, right?
Yeah,
but this is...
It really doesn't matter how much he's shooting. After a while, after you're over 500,000 feet, you're off to the races.
It requires a lot of time and a lot of focus and concentration to go through all that footage and, try to not lose perspective and get the best pieces out. But it's always good to have many options, and the more footage, the merrier.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with 3 editors. But yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it keeps us gainfully employed.
Exactly.
Terry shoots a lot because I think he's trying to really get into the subconscious of the actors who inhabit these characters.
Okay, keep running now.
And he's trying to find, I think, these
keep running, looking for
unconscious
more.
kind of movements or postures, expressions that the actors can give.
Come here.
Push him over in the mud.
It was very funny at times because Terry liked Jack Fisk to create the houses and the locations so that he could shoot 360 degrees. So the crew had to be ready for that as well, because unlike most movies where they absolutely know the camera's locked between these two positions, that's it. With Terry, you never knew. It could be there, and then suddenly he's spinning around and looking there. So you can't have, a bunch of, the gaffers and everybody at the craft service set up right there. But and I couldn't stop laughing on my very first day when he did do this thing to me, where he just suddenly turned the camera on me and said, "Christian, do whatever you feel like doing. Walk up and down, do whatever you want to do." And so I did start doing that, and I realized that there was a bunch of crew over there. So if I walked over there, what were they going to do? So my bloody-minded nature, I was like, I'm going to go take a look, see what they do. So I did. I started walking over there, and they were running. They were diving behind bushes to get out of the way, because they just knew this was part of the deal of working with Terry. They could spin around any second.
I'm used to a director, Simon Windsor or Beresford, whatever, will come with a storyboard in the morning. This is what we're going to do today. This will be a dolly shot. Then if we have time, we'll get to another scene, blah, blah, blah. Where I guess that this is Malick's genius, if you like, that he sees it as he works. And that's the feeling I'm getting from it anyway, that he's not sure how he's going to shoot a scene. He'll say to the camera, he said, well, let's try this, and then he'll get behind the camera, and then that's where his genius comes in, I guess, and it's magic time.
Oh my goodness! Look at these.
Best shot in the movie, right here.
Best shot in the movie. Go a little closer to the lamp, Korean.
Sorry.
Barry, I'm not joking.
Can somebody
This
push
could
my
be the
chair
best shot of the
this way?
movie. Okay. Look at these. Whales.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, yeah. We're gonna do some killing today. All right.
As the battle grew closer, we then had a couple of weekend rehearsals where Andy would work with the extras and the core guys to choreograph and finesse the battle scene.
You have to be professional, no laughing, no matter what. You drop your weapon, you break your weapon, you make a mistake, you hit your fan, whatever. No laughing. Keep going. If you feel tired, lie down on the ground, you die. Okay, that's all you did. You don't need to create something or something like funny or don't laughing. Because there's so many people involved, there's explosion, there's camera rolling, and no one wants to stop. You know, you wound the frame, you just, if you feel something you can't control yourself anymore, you just lie down on the ground. I got one time, no second time. Okay, you always ready, okay? No laughing. Will be long. Listen, remember I say, it will be long shot. They won't cut. It won't cut. If you tired, like I say, you can face off. Remember, you can with your partner, you both tie, you can face off like this. That, I buy it, but not laughing.
Andy had several meetings with Jack and Terry to kind of get the feel and Terry's vision for the battle itself. From that, Andy went back and worked with some storyboards to kind of present it to Terry, so that Terry and Andy were kind of on the same wavelength regarding what Terry wanted for the battle. And so then when we got there, it was really basically just a matter of, you know, which way are we looking first, what we want to do first. And we basically started big. And the first couple of days, it was Terry and Andy, all of us working together to get the big scenes.
The rehearsals we did were basically like fighting techniques. Had 4 different groups, and each group had different stages that they had to follow, format they had to follow. My group, I was number 2. Number 2 is where we wrestle to the ground. We do a couple swings, wrestle to the ground, get back up, do swings, wrestle to the ground, and then somebody takes a fall, which means I either kill him, take his own sword, stab him, and come out victorious. And it's very pretty complex. It looks really complex when you go fast. We try to keep our pace really fast, so it looks tighter. It looks more a lot of movement, more active. And that's one thing I noticed with all the groups together. You know, is whenever it was quick and fast and everybody was going like that, it looked real. And that's what we try to do: get as real as we can, and that's getting close as we can to hitting them, but not.
Go, rehearsing. Action!
Wait, pass the camera. Go. All right, sorry. Go. Too many. Okay, but that's okay. Keep going. Speed, go in. Keep running into it. Stop, man. Go. Back up. You keep back up. Keep go forward. Okay, do it again. Go. Down. Go.
Blocked out of the way.
Forward. Go. Check back. Go check back. Chase them. Go. Step back. Check back. Yeah, end up here. When he go here, fight until this guy
rehearsal.
He stuck with saw in front here. We trap back with him. Go. You kill this guy, and this guy will run in front of your camera.
So when one of the last moves, the guy comes in to me, I grab him here,
Go like this.
I lead him back towards you.
Yeah, but you should
cut
keep
him.
Yeah, but this moment you should keep him in the room because the two guy will come.
The two guys are coming in straight off the back of that. So when I have him and I start pushing you, Jimmy, when I start pushing you back that way,
Yeah, and then you start going.
go even more than I'm actually pushing you. You know, give yourself a couple of yards.
Yeah.
Background.
just walk out of the fort and you feel like you're there. It's very intense, especially the scene we're shooting now, the battle scenes. Everybody's pretty keyed up, and safety is always an issue, but everybody seems to be looking out for each other. But it's intense. It's very intense.
You know, there's guys up in the towers and they're, you know, packing their guns, packing their rifles and shooting them off and packing them again and putting them in there and packing them and shooting them, and cannons are going off and the Indians are fucking screaming and yelping and scalping and the colonists are trying to fight back, and there's just blood and a few bits and pieces of guts, and it's messy. It's messy as it should be.
The battle's going great. Everything's gone well. No one's been hurt, and the guns are going off. Considering the weather, the weapons are firing magnificently. Normally, these things will not fire in the rain at all. We've been firing with it raining solid and pouring down. We've been making our shots.
Let's clear. When the smoke is good, we're going. She's lighting up.
Lighten up.
Cut the smoke.
Cut the smoke.
Kill the smoke.
Cut the smoke.
Let's burn the fort. Don't tell Jack. Let's burn it.
Come on,
Billy. Let's go. Come on. Back here. Back here. Yo, Pablo. Cabrón, why is that you didn't run like that the first week, you fucker?
Here we go. Here we go. I got a gun over here. Ready? Okay. Here we go. Run and fire. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Wait.
Here we go. Ready. Stand by and fire.
Okay, good. Fire. You're excited. Look at what you did.
In a way, those original keepers of the land should have been the people that they listened to and learnt from. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened if the Europeans had adapted to a kind of
Look around, guys. Look around.
a combination of the two cultures rather than trying to dominate the other and impose religious beliefs and things like that. And because, you know, 200, 300, 400 years later, these problems still, there are still manifestations of these problems existing today.
Stand by the ship, please.
This experience has definitely changed me a little bit, and Pocahontas has qualities like courageousness and love and a love for life and every little thing. So that will always be part of me.
This is a gale.
Can you back up another?
The gale-ish. Actually, be, I believe, I heard.
Hurricanes do seem to follow us wherever we go. We hit 5 of them in Virginia, and we hit 1 of them here in England, and it was the first one that they've had in 24 years.
All the neighbors out here just watching the water is so dramatic.
Terry, you didn't bring up your hat on the river that day. The boys
The boat is ready.
Oh, man.
Whatever we should do, we should do it quickly, or we're losing more and more life.
Losing what? Life.
Even though we've gotten so much rain and hurricanes, in an odd way, it's provided beautiful light, because what happens after a hurricane is beautiful skies.
Okay, roll it. Tractors from 9 to 10.
Good work from now on in.
Now look down into the sea. Good, brother. Good. I'm sorry. Turn around on in this way. Give me one second. Okay. You still running?
Oh my God, I don't know you.
Right now. Wait till the hair comes out. Mad, isn't it?
What?
Crazy, isn't it?
The title of this
I haven't seen my face in so long.
documentary is The Death of John Smith.
The Death of John Smith.
Yes, darling. Just giving us a quick. Would you like some help?
I don't mind just a bit of a hand. If you could be preparing some, I'm using acetone because the remover is not. Yeah.
I had a blast. Wasn't the easiest time, but it doesn't have to be easy. It's not about being easy. It's about enjoying it, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't necessarily the easiest. But it was great, yeah. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Loved it. John Smith, yeah.